Alright, welcome back. This is Dog. Let's see here. Someone in a YouTube video chat recently, let's see, xcarvel5278 says, try walking the dog at 98.93 off the dock towards the 2.5 meter hole. Suggested this specific lure. Said that they were catching all kinds of different bass and such. So I thought we'd give it a try. Let's walk the dog a little bit. The only thing I've caught so far was actually just down the bank. It wasn't even in this spot. I caught a few catfish because it was overnight. Here it is, first thing in the morning. Well, let's see if we can catch anything here. Why aren't we getting walk the dog? There it is. Now, one thing we do have to recognize is sort of hoping that when he said 2.5 meter hole, that is what he meant. I guess I could just cast it in some different directions just to test to see if because there's lots of holes he could have been talking about. This is the only 2.5, right? But he could have meant the 1.5, could have meant the 2.2, 2.4. That would have been similar direction, I guess. But maybe there's just two other options. Let's I threw in my bottom rods just to see if we would catch anything. This had a bluegill on it, so this is kind of interesting just to see what species it's catching, because we're kind of casting in the same direction. So that's a white bass, okay. And then this setup here was basically the catfish setup, but I just cast it back in when I came down here to just see. So I think the idea is we're using this topwater lure, and we're hoping that we can find some fish. I could cast it a little further, although if it was too much further, you would assume you'd want to fish off the other shore, not this one. We're casting pretty far out there. At least we are getting walk the dog now. 6:53. This is puzzling me that we're not getting any bites at all. If this has been, in fact, working for people. But maybe it'll pick up a little later in the morning. I don't know. What was I going to do? Not sure. Let's just cast over here one time just for fun. Oh, I was going to cast a little farther, I guess. Just make sure. I think this person was trying to help me because I said in the last video, or maybe 2 videos ago, I said something about just really wanting a spot where we could just go cast and have a good chance of catching some bass and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I think we have to take them at their, assume that they meant what they said and keep casting towards 2.5, but you know, this is a decent sized lure. I could also see the bite rate not being like that great. Try a little bit more. Then I could also maybe try a different topwater lure. Maybe the point was topwater, not that one particular lure is necessarily that good. It's funny. until you catch a fish in a spot, you just sort of assume it's not going to work, you know? But if you have fished this spot and it has worked, then you just kind of keep going with confidence until you catch a fish. Yeah, Gratz on 15 there. Antarctic. Let's see. Well, of course, my next cast after I hit pause on the recording just to do some different experimentation here, I actually catch something. And this is a hybrid white rock bass. That might be the first or maybe the second one I've caught since elk came out. So that is interesting. Let's try it again. Maybe past 8 a.m. It's a little more active here or something. All right, there's a warmouth. All right, you see how I'm fishing it? I'll keep you updated if we get a better fish on. Okay, we did get a smallmouth bass. So a couple things I'm wondering. I'm wondering if it would help to go down to like a 10 kilo leader. I've also probably seen a little better bite rate when I do cast it farther, even though it doesn't make, I don't know, it's so far over there where we're casting, it doesn't make complete sense, but anything to try to get a better bite rate. We're casting out about 50 meters or so and bringing it back, trying to find that bite. Now it's still very slow. I tried a couple other topwater lures. So far, nothing that I've found has a great bite rate. But like the commenter said, we at least are having a shot at catching a couple of bass species and maybe more. Since we know bass is here, we could also just try jigging, like with the some of the soft baits, the craws, and other stuff that's been working so good. It's a long way to walk the dog when we don't get a bite, though. Smallmouth and the white rock. All right, after several more casts, we did get another bite here, and with our smaller leader, it feels like a fish. Still not very big though, but that's okay. This actually might be a little smallmouth. Can't tell yet. I've caught so few largemouth that I have no idea. I think that is a smallmouth, almost a kilo. We're feeling them now. So again, what I'm finding is full cast. If I'm going to catch a fish, it's usually pretty early. Almost never catch a fish when it's within 30 meters of this spot. So I'd be curious, like, to go out in the middle in the boat and cast towards the other shore. That might even be a better, I don't know. It's just a long way to bring these little fish in. All right, now that's got to be a largemouth, right? Okay. All right. We've gone 2 for 2. Let's see if we can triple up. I'm sure that we won't, since I'm not pausing the recording currently. Well, this is awkward. Can't get walk the dog to go. There we go. All right, we're 45 meters out. Guess I paused too long. I don't know. It's finicky right now. Yeah, I'm pausing too long sometimes. So one time I did get a fish here. Actually was when I let walk the dog fall off and just let it sit there a minute. And then I would do a couple more reels and then let it sit there a minute. That seemed to work pretty good. Hey, and that was 10 meters out. So the game just like doing the opposite of what I expect it to do. There's another little hybrid. Okay, I mean, we might have a fish or two left in us. Let's see. To be fair, this is the first time that I've actually tried to target bass. And it's been okay. I mean, I doubt we're... best one of those I've had so far. Alright. So we did get one more. He popped on there at about 35 meters. Yeah, the bite rate of these have been actually interesting. And I don't know, it might continue somewhat okay overnight. But as you see, about 34 minutes ago we started fishing here. So in about 30 minutes we've caught about 12 fish. Not all of them great. Now this is one thing I haven't done. Let's go see if any of these bass are worth silver. You know, you can catch so many sunfish, bluegill, and other stuff. But then when you go to the fish market, you realize, oh, these aren't really worth much, which is understandable. This is beginner lake or whatever, but it's still kind of jarring when you feel like you've been doing really good. You can usually hit several cafes, but the silver just doesn't add up. You're catching a lot of fish. I mean, I think you're going to end up seeing new players doing okay here, at least in its current condition. I do wonder if they will increase the amount of silver and XP we're getting for some of these fish eventually. It seems like they intentionally wanted to make sure that they weren't overdoing it at this place in the beginning, but yeah, I don't know. I think people will do okay. I mean, the bite is the bite rate right now on the small stuff and catfish and all that is very good. So you're going to be able to level skills up okay and have fun experiences. I'm just not sure about silver. All right, let's sort by price and let's kind of see. So 2 kilo smallmouth is 18 silver. That's really nice. And those hybrid striped bass. So I guess if you were able to 36, okay. 10 for the largemouth. 32. Yeah. I mean, pretty good, pretty fun. You might not have to have too crazy of a bite rate to feel like you're doing some damage here. And it's certainly fun. I do wish I could find like a little bit better bite rate, but I do really appreciate, let me get that name one more time, giving me a suggestion so that we could at least go experience some bass. I mean, that's the first time that the only other bass I've caught before this were really like bycatch. You know, I mean, we were just sort of randomly fishing in spots, not particularly catching bass over and over. So again, thanks to X Carvel for that suggestion, and makes sense that some sort of topwater lure would end up being something to really help with this.